Have you noticed that as of recent, more and more people are listening to vinyl records again? And are you interested in finding out why that is? Have you ever wondered when and how they were first made? Do you want to learn some impressive things about this music streaming technology? Then you're going to want to keep watching, because I'm about to hit you with 6 facts about vinyl records that will leave you in shock and awe. But before I do that, I want to give a warm welcome to anyone who's new to my channel. Here at From Laura's Perspective, I post a new video essay at least once or twice a week. Many of these involve sharing fun facts on something specific, and many are also on music and the music industry. But if you really look into my channel, you're bound to find so much more beyond that, and I promise there's something for you. But don't leave to do that just yet. Watch this one the whole way through to get your first impression. But if you're wise and check out my channel afterwards, you have no excuse not to subscribe. Now time to have your mind blown with 6 things you didn't know about vinyl records. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the first vinyl record ever made. The first 12-inch vinyl record was Beethoven's Symphony No. 5 in C minor by the Philadelphia Orchestra. RCA released the format in 1931 as the first commercially available vinyl long-playing record. The flexible Victrolac discs were made using a polyvinyl chloride, or PVC, and were designed to be played at 33 1/3 RPM. RCA's early introduction of the modern LP was a commercial failure, in part due to a lack of affordable consumer playback equipment, but also economic impacts caused by the Great Recession. For our next fact, we're going to learn about the difference between vinyls that come in black and vinyls that come in cute little rainbow colors. At some point, you'll inevitably notice that some records have black vinyl and others have colored vinyl. You may wonder, is this a random coincidence or is it done on purpose? If the latter, why? Well, as it turns out, a colored vinyl disc is designed to play with way more noise and hiss than its black counterparts. But don't take my word for it. Listen to a black record, then listen to a colored record, and you'll no doubt notice the difference. In vinyl records' heyday, record companies used color vinyl as a manipulative sales tactic. It was a way that record companies could charge more while distancing themselves from what many music lovers demanded from their records: high-quality sound. Vinyl record production has come a long way in the last 20 years, and most modern colored vinyl is on par with black pressings. Sure, there are exceptions to the rule. And yes, picture discs are still more prone to be problematic, at least regarding playback durability. But that shouldn't deter you from purchasing a new record just because it's colored. Other steps in the vinyl record production process, such as mastering and a pressing plant's quality control standards, have a more substantial impact on playback. For our third fact, we're going to learn about a little thing called inner groove distortion. When listening to a vinyl record, you may notice that the songs that are closer to the label and spindle hole have a different sound quality than those that are farther away from the label and spindle hole. You're not just hearing things, and there's an explanation for it: a phenomenon called inner groove distortion. At the beginning of the LP, on those outer grooves, the audio signal is cut across a relatively long section of vinyl, and the longer a single is spread out across the medium, the higher the quality. When you get to those shorter grooves near the spindle hole, the signal is transferred to a much shorter section. The audio information, in the form of ridges and valleys, is closer together, and the more dramatic curve of the groove can affect the needle's ability to track and read the information accurately. It's because of this that, when recording, the louder bass-heavy tracks are usually put at the front, and the softer tracks are at the end of the album. For fact number 4, I'm going to share a record about vinyl records, pun intended. Many mistakenly believe that this title belongs to Ringo Starr's copy of the White Album, which was sold $790,000 in 2015, but this is merely a close runner-up. The winner is actually Wu-Tang Clan's Once Upon a Time in Shaolin. Only one copy was ever produced, with the double LP coming housed in 2 handcrafted nickel-silver boxes that apparently took 3 months to make. The record was bought by the controversial Martin Shkreli, who has now been convicted of securities fraud and sentenced to 20 years in prison and had the record confiscated by the FBI. Fact number 5. Records are literally out of this world. Perhaps the most famous records in the universe are the 2 copies of the Golden Record placed aboard the Voyager 1 and 2 spacecrafts. The Golden Records feature songs from many different countries and time periods, spoken greetings from Earth people in 55 languages, and other messages. Each record is encased in a protective aluminum jacket together with a cartridge and a needle. Instructions in a symbolic language explain the origin of the spacecraft and how the record is to be played. Today, Voyager is nearly 12 billion miles away from Earth. And for our last fact, vinyl records are making a comeback. Remember how I said earlier that a lot of people are starting to listen to vinyls these days, even though music isn't released in this format anymore? Well, this is all part of a movement called the Vinyl Revival. How do we know that this is an actual thing? Because there's a Wikipedia article on it, which I've included a link to in the description. But that's not all. According to Billboard magazine, vinyl record sales hit a Nielsen Music era high as vinyl sold 14.3 million units, up 9% over 2016's 13.1 million. That's impressive, as 2016's numbers were up 26% over 2015, and this marks 12 consecutive years of growth in sales. Most of these vinyl purchases are by nostalgic elders who grew up listening to all music in this format, but even some members of the younger generation prefer music that was released in this format. And as my sister's boyfriend Tommy puts it, he just really likes the crisp sound of the music played on vinyls. Thank you all so much for watching. Are you part of the vinyl revival? I.e., do you ever listen to music on a vinyl record? If so, why? Sound off in the comments down below. Of the many video essays I plan to make in the future, many of them are fun facts videos on different things, which include formats on which music has been released. 2 of these videos I've already made are linked up on your screen. If this was your first time at my channel, I hope I've made a good impression on you. If I did, go ahead and click subscribe already. And if you want to be notified every time I post new content, which you will be, tap on the bell and turn it black. I really hope you'll do this so that I see you here next time.